What's up everyone, JickJax here, and in today's video I will be showing you how to flash out or disable your EWS from your BMW E36. Now, we'll just get straight to it. There are a couple options you could do if you wanted to have EWS removed from your OBD2 car, and also OBD1 car, but mainly we're going to focus on OBD2 cars. Generally, they cost around 100, 150, 200 bucks to do. Or you could buy two things and be able to do it yourself at home. And it's really not that difficult at all, and if you're at least just a little bit computer savvy, you should be able to get this done and be able to save you a lot of money and also have, more options in terms of you're actually able to tune the car and tell it what you want to do. You could have it shoot flames, all this other stuff. But mainly we're going to focus on, in this video, is the EWS. So let's just get straight to it and onto the setup. So excuse the mess of things right here, and I know this doesn't look like most E36s, there's a big turbo right here, but basically you're going to need this diagnostic port adapter, and it goes basically from this diagnostic port to a OBD2 cable similar to this, and I will provide the links to purchase this. This is pretty cheap. I believe this was like $15 or $18. I'm gonna provide the same exact one that I purchased, so that, because there's different kinds, so you have to make sure you purchase the correct ones to make this all work properly. Not only that, but I also bought the input cable. I'm just going to call it input, IMPA, I guess you can call it. And I have that routed to go through the firewall, so that I'm able to flash and log and tune straight from inside the car. The USB cable is right over there. So, and also a fire extinguisher. Need that. The only other thing apart from those two things that you need to do is that you have to, underneath here, you just pull this little cover off. You use a little pick and you can just pull this cover off nice and neat. And inside you have to strip off a little bit of wire from, you have to provide power to another wire. I believe it is the K-line power. You have to provide power to another wire. I believe it's called the K-line wire. And you just have to route it there so you're able to flash it. If you don't do that, you can read from the ECU, but you cannot flash to it. You must provide power to that wire, or else you won't be able to flash to it. So that's pretty simple. Once you provide power to that wire, you hook up these two things, and you're able to flash and tune straight from that USB cable. Now on to the software part. And before you go ahead and try and flash or read the ECU, if you're having any issues reading it, chances are your COM port for the USB cable is probably not set to COM port 1. That's generally been the fix for me. Most of these applications were developed with the COM port being 1, because there was no other port that was using that. So I would just make sure that. So what you'd have to do is go into the device manager and make sure inside the device manager, once we go in here, you will see it under ports, USB serial port COM1. Generally, Windows 10 is pretty good at pre-installing software, so hopefully it would have set it to COM1. Mine wasn't at first, so if you do need to change it, you go in here, port settings, advanced, and then you switch it to COM1 and hit OK. And you should be good there. So I just pulled up here Romraider ECU editor after I just installed it, and you are going to make sure that you have the MS41 definitions on there. You can download this, I'll provide the link below, and make sure you use those definitions or else it won't be able to understand the bin file from your partial or your full read. Anyways, yeah, some really good people at Romraider forums. I think it's generally just one or two of them that really did most of the work. and they just, you know, define most of these definitions. So really just thanks to them that we're able to do this, you know, for a relatively cheap cost. So once you do that, all you have to do is just select the file. You just hit add and find it. It'll be in your downloads folder or something, or wherever you save it. So once you're done with that, you should be good to go. So I'm going to go in here and open one up. Open up this partial. So I already have one loaded. You can actually load multiple tunes, which is really good if you're trying to reference to other people's work. So what we need to do here to do the EWS delete is go into control bits, and it's going to be in byte 8. As you see here, we have a decimal value of 22, and we're going to take that value and we're going to pop up in calculator and close this out, erase it, like 22. Now you see this 22 value, and what we're going to need to do is we need to change the 8th digit on here to a 1, and that'll disable EWS. So we're going to click on this. So take note on, you know, what the digits are. So basically we want 000010110 to be 10010110. I don't know if I said that correctly. So basically we're going to go back in here and we're going to type it out. Let's give it a shot. Alright, so now that we've changed that to 1, take note of the decimal value. It's now 150. So we're going to go in here. And this is going to, you know, the numbers aren't always going to be exactly like this. Every tune is different. And, I mean, not every tune, every ECU is different. So just take note of that. You know, it might be a different number. It doesn't matter. The same process applies. The 8th digit has to be 1, basically. And if there's nothing in between that, type in some zeros. So we're going to go in here, type in 150, and hit set. And we're going to go ahead and save as, and we can just type it in here, no EWS, or disabled EWS, and save. That's pretty much it, really. Your tune is saved. Now all you have to do is go back and find your flash tool. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and flash tool, and all you have to do is hit partial, flash. Now it's obviously not going to let me because I don't have the car on. I'm not going to flash this tune in because I already have the EWS deleted. But basically all you have to do that, wait until it's finished, make sure everything is charged up, your car is not low on battery, your laptop is not about to die. Very important, because I've bricked an ECU before because I didn't pay attention on the battery life left on the laptop, and it died on me while I was flashing. Bricked the ECU. So unless you have spares, luckily I have, you know, a spare, but if you don't, then I advise you to make sure everything is charged up and good to go. And that's pretty much it. This is the method I use on my car. My car is actually a bit of a my car is not a normal, like I said, my car is a bit of an oddball situation. I have a 95 car that's originally OBD1 that I converted to OBD2, and 95 also has EWS EWS2, if I'm not mistaken, which is more aligned to the OBD2 cars than OBD1. So it was a bit of a trouble trying to get it to start. And then I also, the original owner, because there's only one owner before me, I guess back in like the late 90s or something, he had a aftermarket starter thing installed. And that was an interesting thing to remove, and interesting ordeal to remove and get working. You know, I removed the whole system. It was just, I could tell because it's just all these random wires going through everywhere, and I'm just like, this doesn't look like BMW factory, if that makes sense. I didn't realize how ugly the hardtop looks without a headliner. I mean, I don't care, but anyway. that's pretty much it. If you guys have any more issues outside of that, let me know. Shoot a comment below. Another good resource is a guy named Pazzi88 on YouTube. Unfortunately, all his videos are in Finnish, but he makes great subtitles for them in English, and I honestly learned a whole lot about Romraider and even Megasquirt, for example, from his channel. It's just, you know, he's really informative and all this stuff, and I know definitely not as much as he does. And, you know, it's super powerful. You could do a lot of stuff with this. Like I said, that, you know, there's so many different options you can adjust. I mean, it's pretty much almost everything the ECU, what the ECU does, you can modify. So, timing, fuel, idle, limiters, you know, like your rev limiter, set it to 8,000 if you're being retarded, or maybe you're just crazy and you love the sound and hope your valves hold. Knock. There's so much. Auction sensors, disable certain DC codes. It's endless. I had to disable a lot of DTC codes for my swap because really the only thing that matters is, you know, as long as the O2 sensors work, cold packs aren't misfiring, all this other stuff. So let me know if you guys want more videos like this. I would like to, I guess, show more of the E36, to be quite honest, because I think I've been working a lot more on the E36 recently than the E55, and I don't recall seeing a lot of content that pertains to, especially Romraider. As far as I remember, it's mostly just like the YouTube channel that I recommended a while ago. It's actually on, I have them on my on my featured channels on my channel itself. Featured channels on my, yeah. And that's pretty much it, really. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any issues with it. And I see this question get asked often in the Romraider forums, which makes sense because, you know, some people might be more like visual learners rather than, you know, because if someone were to tell me that, then, you know, I could easily get it because I'm familiar. I mean, I love computers. But, you know, someone who's not as computer savvy, they might have to, you know, visually see what I'm doing or how it works for them to get, you know, how do you switch this decimal value to a hex value or binary or whatever. That's pretty much it. Let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this. I would love to make, you know, how to make, I guess, the idle higher or rev limiters higher or backfire more or whatever. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Peace.